Hello, gentlemen. Let me start by asking you something simple. When was the last time you woke up truly energized? Not just awake, but alive, steady, and ready for the day? If you're like most men over 50, that feeling has become rare. You wake up a bit slower, maybe hit the snooze once or twice, reach for your coffee, and somewhere between breakfast and mid-morning, your energy begins to fade. You tell yourself it's just aging, right? But what if it isn't? What if a simple morning habit, something as small as what's on your plate, has been quietly setting the tone for your entire hormonal day? Today, I want to show you something surprisingly powerful. How swapping that morning bread for 2 boiled eggs could be one of the easiest ways to restore your natural energy, your mood, and even your hormonal strength. I'm Dr. Sienna Brooks, and this is not another diet trend. This is about physiology, metabolism, and how your body responds to the first fuel you give it every single morning. Your hormones wake up before you do. Here's something most men don't realize. Your hormonal system wakes up before your mind does. Around 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., cortisol and testosterone begin to rise naturally. It's your body's way of saying, let's start the engine. Testosterone peaks early. It's the body's natural performance hour, but it's also fragile. The moment you eat something that spikes insulin, like toast, jam, or cereal, your testosterone rhythm is interrupted. Insulin and cortisol team up to control blood sugar, and while they do, testosterone takes a back seat. The result? You feel an artificial jolt of energy, but it's unstable. Your blood sugar soars, your focus narrows, and 90 minutes later, you crash. The body, trying to recover, asks for more caffeine, more carbs, more stimulation. And that, gentlemen, is how millions of men unintentionally start every day in hormonal imbalance, one slice of bread at a time. The problem with bread, especially after 50. Let's talk about that bread. Even whole grain toast is mostly starch, which the body converts into glucose almost instantly. When you were younger, your muscles burned that glucose quickly. Now, after 50, muscle tissue becomes less insulin sensitive. That means sugar stays in your bloodstream longer, creating inflammation, fatigue, and slower recovery. Your pancreas responds by releasing more insulin. And here's the key part. Insulin and testosterone are inversely related. When insulin is high, testosterone drops. When insulin stabilizes, testosterone rises. It's a biochemical tug-of-war happening every morning, and most men have no idea they're feeding the wrong side. Add to that the butter, jam, or margarine many spread on their toast, all loaded with refined oils and sugars that further disrupt hormonal signaling. And you have a perfect storm for midlife sluggishness. Why eggs are the exact opposite. Now let's flip the plate. A boiled egg is one of nature's most balanced foods. Inside that smooth shell is a complete protein profile, 9 essential amino acids, brain-boosting choline, fat-soluble vitamins, and, most importantly, cholesterol, the raw material from which testosterone is made. Cholesterol often gets a bad reputation, but here's the truth. Without it, your body cannot produce testosterone, estrogen, or cortisol. Your adrenal glands and testes depend on dietary cholesterol to synthesize these hormones. So, when you eat eggs, especially whole eggs, not just whites, you're giving your body the fundamental ingredient it needs to maintain hormonal health. And unlike toast, eggs don't cause a blood sugar spike. They provide slow, steady energy that stabilizes insulin and supports your morning hormonal peak instead of suppressing it. In other words, while bread puts out the fire, eggs keep it burning evenly all day long. The biochemistry of energy and mood. Let's break down what happens internally. When you eat carbohydrates like bread, the body releases glucose into your bloodstream. To handle it, your pancreas releases insulin, which helps store sugar as fat or glycogen. Insulin is a storage hormone. It tells your body, pause fat burning, we have sugar to deal with. But when you eat protein and healthy fats, like in eggs, the body releases glucagon, a counter hormone that stabilizes blood sugar and promotes fat burning. Glucagon keeps your insulin low, your brain steady, and your energy even. This difference, insulin dominance versus glucagon balance, is the hidden reason why one breakfast leads to fatigue while the other leads to focus. And there's another layer. Your brain. Eggs are rich in choline, which your liver turns into acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that sharpens memory and attention. So a breakfast of eggs doesn't just feed your muscles, it literally powers your thoughts. Circulation, oxygen, and vitality men often focus on testosterone as a sexual hormone, but biologically, it's also a vascular hormone. It keeps your arteries elastic, supports nitric oxide production, and ensures efficient oxygen delivery throughout your body. When your morning meal is balanced, low in sugar, high in protein and fats, your blood vessels stay relaxed and open. When it's carb-heavy, they stiffen slightly, which slows circulation and reduces oxygen flow. And yes, that affects every system, including the one responsible for performance and confidence in intimate moments. This is why dietitians sometimes call breakfast the first act of self-respect, because it's not just about calories. It's a hormonal choice that affects how you think, move, and feel for the rest of the day. The brain-hormone connection. Now, let's get personal for a second. Have you noticed how, after a heavy carb breakfast, your mind feels dull by mid-morning? It's not your imagination. When your blood sugar spikes and crashes, your brain runs on unstable fuel. But when you eat eggs, you're fueling with fats and proteins that convert into ketones, a much steadier energy source for neurons. Ketones don't cause crashes. They create focus. That's why you'll find it easier to stay calm in meetings, think clearly, and feel emotionally balanced when your breakfast stabilizes your brain chemistry instead of swinging it. And men who stabilize their mornings this way often notice another subtle benefit. Their mood improves. Because when blood sugar stays even, cortisol stays low, and serotonin, the feel-good hormone, stays high. So yes, swapping bread for eggs isn't just a physical upgrade. It's a mental one too. What the research shows. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that men who consumed 25 to 30 grams of protein within 1 hour of waking had significantly higher testosterone levels throughout the day. Another study from the Nutrients Journal found that eating whole eggs improved testosterone to cortisol ratio by nearly 25% compared to those who ate refined grains for breakfast. Meanwhile, consistent high-carb breakfasts were linked to slower circulation, increased fatigue, and reduced morning arousal in men over 45. In simple terms, bread may comfort you, but it does not strengthen you. Eggs, however, fuel the chemistry of strength. The morning energy curve. Think of your energy as a wave that begins the moment you wake up. A carb-heavy breakfast creates a steep peak and an equally sharp crash. You rise, fall, and crave stimulation. A protein-rich breakfast flattens that wave into a smooth, sustainable curve. No crash, no hunger pangs, no irritability. Your energy becomes a steady current rather than a roller coaster. You start your day in balance, not in repair. And that stability ripples into everything. Better concentration, better workouts, better sleep. Building stronger mornings. One habit at a time. You don't need to change your entire diet overnight. Just start with this one small intentional choice. Tomorrow morning, skip the toast. Boil 2 eggs. Sprinkle sea salt, maybe a touch of olive oil or black pepper. Eat without distraction. Feel the calm in your breathing. That gentle clarity. That's your body aligning with its own biology. After a week, you'll notice your mornings feel lighter. After 2 weeks, your energy no longer dips mid-morning. And by week 3, you might realize something profound. You're not chasing energy anymore. You already have it. That's what real hormonal balance feels like. The real meaning of stronger mornings. When I say stronger mornings, I don't just mean physical power. I mean focus, emotional steadiness, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your body is working with you, not against you. At 50 and beyond, you're not broken. You're just adapting to a new biological phase, and that phase rewards awareness. By choosing the right foods in the morning, you're not dieting. You're designing your chemistry for success. So tomorrow, when your hand reaches for that bread, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this feeding my hunger or feeding my fatigue? Because deep down, your body knows the difference. I'm Dr. Sienna Brooks, and if you believe in using science and small daily choices to stay strong, focused, and confident as you age, you're in the right place. Subscribe, stay curious, and remember, small habits create strong mornings, and strong mornings create strong men.